Hello, my name's Angel Soliveris, and I would like to welcome you to the show, Making the Connection in Lancaster. Today we have two special guests. We have Janice Thomas, who is the Executive Director of the Mix at Arbor Place, and Jeremy Raff. He's the Director of Programming at the Mix. Welcome to the show, guys.
It's good to be here.
It's good
Thanks
to
for
have you
having
here
us.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Janice, if I may start with you, for the benefit of our viewers who might not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm actually from New Jersey. I was born and raised in New Jersey, in the northern part. My husband and my two kids, we transferred from New Jersey to Oklahoma, and then from Oklahoma here to Lancaster. We've been here for a little bit over 7 years.
Great. Well, welcome to Lancaster.
Thank you.
Jeremy, you're the Director of Programming. Are you originally from the local area?
I am, actually. I grew up in Lancaster, went to school, elementary school, middle school, high school in Lancaster. I went to Houghton College, which is a college in western New York. Once I graduated, I came back to the central PA area. I served as an AmeriCorps member, Habitat for Humanity, for a year in Harrisburg, and had the opportunity to come back to Lancaster to serve the community in the capacity at the Mix.
Great. Janice, I had the opportunity to see this beautiful building. It's well constructed, right in the heart of Southeast Lancaster. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about this special building so that people can get a visual of what the Mix is like.
Okay, the Mix is a two-story building. We have a huge basketball court. It's just shy of being the official size, along with an industrial-sized kitchen. We have classrooms, a computer lab, weight room, game room, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah, it's quite a building. You know, I have a great connection with the grounds where the Mix is built, where it's located. I was raised in Lancaster, as you know, and my family owned a house at 505 Locust Street, which is directly behind the Mix. So I remember the area well. And we lived there from 1954 to 1968.
Okay.
And I remember the burlap bag company that was right next door to our house that employed a lot of our neighbors and stuff. And I remember a lot of the rundown houses on North Street, maybe before your time, but you probably remember there was a lot of old dilapidated homes in that area. So I grew up in the area, and the area has truly been revitalized.
Yeah, it has.
Not only with the new Mix building, but also with all the houses that Saka built on North Street and over on Locust Street. So the area has really come a long way. There's some folks that don't know or are not familiar with the Mix and what the Mix does. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Historically, it has always been a hangout for neighborhood kids. Our vision has changed slightly. The foundation has not changed at all, but we're more of a youth development center where we focus on the kids from ages 7 to 17. We're concentrating on their academics, physical fitness, enrichment opportunities, along with the spiritual aspects.
Okay, and what is the mission statement for the Mix?
The mission statement is for us to, without a lot of fluff, is to basically just love on the kids who come in.
Okay, great. Jeremy, can you tell me about some of the programs that you have at the Mix right now?
Yeah, we actually, our core of our programming is we have 3 days a week, we have after-school programming. As a part of that, like Janice mentioned, we have the spiritual side, the academic, social enrichments, physical well-being. So we have dance classes, we have music classes, we have, every day the kids have a academic tutoring portion, and we're working with an organization called Knowledge Points to provide that, and with some of our own staff and volunteers to do that. We have a dinner portion as well. We want to make sure the kids are getting a healthy meal before they go home every night. So we're trying to provide that holistic development for them those 3 days a week. And that runs from about 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And then on Friday, we have open gym from 3 to 5.
Okay, great. And what's the process for the kids to register for some of the programs like the after-school programs and so forth?
Yeah, basically, if you come into our office and fill out a registration packet, we have the information there. We just need emergency contact information, find out a little bit more about the kid, find out where we can place them, and then they'll can put those into us. We just cleared out our waiting list, so we have room for more people if they're interested. And if they come into our office at 520 North Street, we can walk them through that process.
Okay, great. And is there a cost?
There's no cost. No cost
No
involved.
cost? Okay,
Correct.
that's great.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that.
Oh, yeah.
How can the folks in the community get involved at the mix? Is there any opportunity for them to?
Angel,
to
there
help
is.
out?
We're always looking for volunteers.
Okay.
Volunteers just to become mentors to the kids, along with, excuse me, helping out with academics. Just allowing the kids to know that someone besides their family actually cares about their well-being. We, as Jeremy stated, we do have a What's for Dinner program. With that program, we actually serve dinner to the kids on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We always need help with people just serving the kids, sitting down with them, and having that family meal. And as far as going a little bit further with the volunteering, we're always looking for donors, or as I like to call them, investors, to walk side us as we provide programs for the kids.
Okay, great. Okay, I personally work with a lot of young groups, young kids and stuff, and they're always looking for a place to volunteer their services and stuff. So you think you could accommodate some of them?
Absolutely, and Jeremy can also speak to that. We do have high schoolers who come in, and they have become a part of our Bookworm Buddies Club, and where they're actually reading to the younger kids.
Okay, great.
And we also have high schoolers coming in. And Jeremy, you can go ahead and say something about that.
Yeah, we partner with different schools, different church groups, different religious organizations that want to get their young people involved in serving the community and learning what it is to give back. And we stress that with the kids in our program too, getting them involved in doing more than just being poured into. We want them to mentor the other kids there. We have a partnership with Lancaster Country Day where they're sending a lot of students to help serve as mentors, and working on other partnerships with other colleges, Millersville, Lancaster Bible College, Thaddeus Stevens.
Right, because that was my next question.
Yeah.
Who have you guys partnered up with?
We also have partnered with Bukowski along with their School to Work program. So we do have our part-time receptionist. She comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're looking for those partnerships also.
Sure, great. Okay. I know that Hope Academy is a big part of the mix. What can you tell us about this particular program?
Well, Hope Academy is a school needing, they needed a place to call home. So they occupy our building Monday through Friday. It's a small school at this point with only 7 children. And it's a school that provides a small learning community for the kids. We're looking at 4th and 5th graders, and up until January, we would continue to enroll kids. After that, if you're interested, we would have to wait until next year to do that. We're looking at the school itself having approximately 15 students.
15? Okay, that's the goal.
That's the goal, yes.
Okay, now are these gifted children, or what type of students?
No, they're not gifted. They just need a smaller learning community so they can excel in what they have to do. They're doing a phenomenal job with that, and there is a cost associated with it. However, there are scholarships available.
Okay.
So the kids usually go for free.
And you guys have been in operation since March? Is that
March
correct?
2012 is when the building was open, and programming a summer program started on June 25th of this year.
Okay. And I know you guys also rent parts of the building to the community. Tell us a little bit about that.
The building is open to the community, and yes, we do rent. We've had birthday parties, anniversary parties, graduation parties, and someone can definitely fill out a business usage form and by coming in or either just giving us a buzz, and we can definitely start that process.
Okay, and the rooms that includes is the kitchen?
The kitchen, which is an industrial-sized kitchen, our multi-purpose room. People have also rented the gym, and we also have classrooms upstairs. So for any kind of event needing, classrooms, we have those available also.
Okay, great. You have a couple of events coming up, and one of them got my interest, the Women's Empowering Women's event that you have scheduled for November sometime.
It's a partnership with a lot of the women in the community, and it's exactly what it says. It's women empowering women, women of all ages, starting as young as 18 on up. And we will have classes, breakout groups, and just for us to basically pour ourselves into other people. We've partnered with Ebenezer Baptist Church, with Sandra Forbes being the lead on that, along with other churches and other women in churches within the community.
Okay, and that's dated for November 3rd?
For November, the first Saturday in November.
First Saturday in November, okay. And how about professional women? Do you invite professional women?
Absolutely, it's across the board.
It's across the board, okay. Janice, as 2012 comes to an end, okay, what does 2013 hold for the mix?
Angel, I think that the mix, the sky is the limit at this point. A foundation, a very, very strong foundation has been set. So it's just a matter of taking that and just building upon that. We are hoping for more kids and even expanding Arbor Place, not just for the youth within the community, but to the families also. We believe that this is a family affair, but at the same time, we do not want to take our focus on the fact that it is a youth development center.
Right, I understand that. And, me personally, I think the more collaborations you build with the community, the more successful that you're going to be. And we found that out, soccer is involved in so many different things and stuff. And so I wish you continued success in that. Is there anything else, any other new information that we haven't mentioned about the mix that you'd like to share with our viewers?
You'd mentioned, we talked a little bit about partnerships. Partnerships have been really, really key for us, getting us connected with different organizations, through SACA, obviously, through Knowledge Points. Church World Service actually holds a refugee resettlement, like a cultural orientation class at our building. And especially with our new building, there's a lot of excitement around the mix, and a lot of different ways that we're working with other groups, whether that be religious organizations or other nonprofits, just all about bettering the kids. And that's could be like working with Belco Credit Union to do financial literacy, working with SACA to do some life skills training, we have a youth leadership program for high school students that we're working with an organizational leadership consultant. So those partnerships are really, really growing. And that's one of the ways we see ourselves really taking off in this next year. And there's so many opportunities there.
Absolutely, and there's so many needs in the community. And I know as we go forward, like I said, more things are going to come down the road. And it's not only empowering the kids, but also empowering the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
The Southeast area, for many years it was neglected, and it's nice to see it coming back strong and stuff.
And that's the exciting part about Arbor Place right now, is that every child who comes through, we're hoping to give them an experience. For instance, we've partnered with SWAN, Scaling Walls a Note at a Time, where kids can actually come into Arbor Place and receive private lessons on voice and stringed instruments.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to take a minute, if I can, and just to let some of our Spanish-speaking viewers know what's going on. Le estamos dando la bienvenida a Janice y a Jeremy. Ellos tienen el centro aquí en la calle North, que tienen servicio ahí para los muchachos de la comunidad. Entonces, ellos están aquí para hablar de algunos de los programas que tienen. Tienen programas para los niños después que salen de la escuela, y ahí les dan comida, juegan juegos, pueden hacer las asignaciones. Muchas cosas están pasando aquí en la ciudad de Lancaster y es un placer tenerlo a ellos aquí hoy. Espero que ustedes que están interesados de aprender más de estos programas, que pasen por el Mix en la calle Norte. La dirección es that's 529, right? 529 de la calle North, que es cerquita aquí de la Duque o de la iglesia San Juan Bautista. So, si tienen oportunidad o están interesados en aprender de los programas que tienen, y muchos de los programas que tienen para los niños son gratis, so esperamos que lo vayan y lo visiten a ellos. Janice, I wish you guys and Jeremy continued success in the new building, and enjoy the building, and make good use of the space, because I know you guys will, and I know you're going to be flooded with all kinds of different ideas from people in the community and stuff, and we certainly hope to work with you in the future and create some new partnerships and stuff. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
And helping us to make that connection in Lancaster. It's so important. And, there's so many organizations out there that are working towards the same goals and stuff. And sometimes, they don't communicate with each other. So therefore, they don't share, the same dreams that, a lot of these kids have. And to have another organization like the Mix, who's been around for a lot of years, because you guys had the old building there, and it used to be more of a recreational place, and you've made that transition into education and spiritual, which I think is really needed in our communities. As we see a lot of these kids go through the changes that they're going through, and times are hard for the kids today.
Absolutely.
A lot more than they were when we were kids. I remember when we were kids, the TV signal would shut off at midnight. You remember that?
Right.
The national anthem would come on, and that was it. Go to bed,
That's it.
And nowadays, kids have all this new technology to work with, and they stay up all night watching TV, playing video games, or texting back and forth and whatnot. I know some of the kids that I mentor at the high school, some of them tell me, I went to bed at 5 o'clock this morning or 6 o'clock this morning. Some of them say, have the nerve to say, well, I haven't been to bed yet.
Right.
So, when they get to the classroom, there's no energy left,
That's it.
So, unfortunately, we have basically this to deal with all this new technology and stuff, and it's a challenge, for the kids of today to try to stay focused and stuff. So, they need all these programs and stuff. And I know when we were kids, we always had summer jobs and stuff. And of course, that's almost non-existent for young people. So in order to keep them on the straight and narrow and keep them moving in the right direction, we as a community have to come up with, all these programs.
One thing that statistics continue to show us is that kids usually get in trouble the most between the hours of 3 and 6. And that's why an after-school program or after-school programs in this area and in any area are key and essential. It's just a matter of us partnering with the school districts and partnering with the homes to make sure that the kids are covered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, you used to work over at, was it Lincoln?
Lincoln Middle School.
For a while. Okay, have you seen any of your kids from there?
I surely have. I surely have.
Okay.
And I'm able to go back to Lincoln a lot. So it's good to see them and for them to get the connection and to understand that the community is really just wrapped around them.
Yeah, great. And I was lucky enough to meet with you the other day and talk a little bit about our life skills training program, which I'm really looking forward to starting over at the Mix. I'll probably have to meet with Jeremy and make sure I get his blessing and stuff. Because you have to have some kind of structure, program, and the guidance in order for these programs to be successful. And it's a program that it's been well received by the state of Pennsylvania. It gets high marks. And the program itself is elementary, middle school, and high school. So it's different curriculums for the different groups and stuff. So I'm looking forward to starting that hopefully next week.
And part of what we really want to do is make the most of the time when we have the kids there.
Right.
So it's not just a hangout, but also that when they're there, they're getting high quality. Janice mentioned that we want to make sure they're getting an experience, the same experience they could get in township or in the other districts. So we want to make sure they're getting that. So we really strive to provide the highest quality programming, the highest quality mentors and everything. So we try and stick with that, and we're really excited to partner.
Yeah, you should be. And the exciting thing is that it's a small group. My sister-in-law is a teacher in York, and she has, her classroom size is unbelievable.
Right.
38 kids.
Wow.
And she had an assistant when she had 34 kids, and now they also took the assistant away because they couldn't afford to have an assistant.
Okay.
So imagine you being a teacher and trying to teach 38 kids. A lot of them have special needs and stuff.
Exactly it.
They need time, your time as a teacher to spend with them. Yeah, I mean, I think the challenges that schools have today are tremendous, and when you're able to put your child in a small group, a small learning community like this, I think they're going to excel.
And then with our after-school program, we have the academic component. So that allows the kids, if they miss something during school, with that partnership with Knowledge Points, they will be able to get it and possibly excel. We're hoping that our kids' PSSA scores, are even that much better.
Yeah. Now, are you tracking some of the kids that are coming in for the after-school program to see if their grades have improved or if they're completing more of their homework assignments?
We will be able to do that with Knowledge Points, so we're excited about that.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Very excited.
Okay. Well, I like I said, thank you guys for being here today. I hope that you'll come back and visit with us in the future and share some more of your great plans that you have for the future. So we can continue our conversation to help our community grow and keep our community informed. All the great things that are happening in our community in the Southeast area, it's a story that needs to be told.
Thank you.
I know there's a lot of communities throughout the different cities and stuff close to Lancaster, and you don't hear a lot of good things. You look at Harrisburg and the challenges in New York City and Reading, and it's tough. And the minority population, like in Reading, I think it's like 87% Latino.
That's it.
And Lancaster is pretty high too. I think it's in the 60s or something like that. And it's something that we need to be mindful of.
That's it.
So if you have any questions that you would like to ask Janice, where can they address those questions to?
Our address, again, is 520 North Street. We're also on Facebook, and our website is www.arborplace.org.
Great. And if you have any questions that you would like, suggestions or feedback about the show, the number to call is 509-7792. You can let us know, what your thoughts are. And we'll be glad to entertain any suggestions that you have. So, my friends, there you have it. As it happens very often, we run out of time. So please stay tuned for some more interesting topics in the weeks ahead. Thank you.
In Mark 16:15, Jesus told his disciples, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation." He wanted his truths to be shared with everyone, everywhere. In many cases, our minds can easily travel to foreign lands and third world countries. Many of us have become partners with members of our church or other organizations that support missions work around the world. Our sincere desire is to help end suffering of people while sharing the many promises our Father has for them. What do you think would happen if we looked at Lancaster as part of our mission field? 34% of residents living in Lancaster City are below the poverty income level. 69% of them are single-family households. 33% of children living in Lancaster City are below the poverty level. How would you be able to help if the mission field was right next door? The Mix at Arbor Place is located in southeast Lancaster City. We provide a state-of-the-art learning and recreation facility where hundreds of youth connect with caring adult mentors every day. We rely on our community and local churches to help guide kids into becoming mature Christians who will ultimately impact others. We ask you to think about volunteering at the Arbor Place by tutoring, sharing your gifts, or help serving a meal to some of the most amazing kids you will ever come in contact with. If you're interested in volunteering your time, money, or talents, please contact us at 717-393-1523.
Every time it would bring me to life. I could only imagine what it'd be like. Oh, every time.
The hours between 3 and 6 p.m. on school days are considered a danger zone by law enforcement officials. It's prime time for violent juvenile behavior. It's also the time when kids most likely become victims of violent crimes, be involved in all kinds of accidents, experiment with drugs or alcohol, and other problem behaviors. But there's a place for our kids to go, the Mix at Arbor Place. After-school programs keep children and adolescents out of trouble and off the streets. Students build, practice, and improve upon lessons they learned during normal school hours.
Now you can kiss your old dude goodbye. Smooches, you're a beast. You're a beauty.
Students are given the opportunity to participate in recreational and enrichment activities. They can use their energy, relieve stress, and understand who they are in Christ.
It would bring me to life. I could only imagine what it'd be like. Oh, every time it would bring me to life.
Arbor Place is where they can go,
I could only imagine.
preparing today's youth to be tomorrow's leaders.